metaphysical
broadcast for the soul. Welcome to Beyond That.
The metaphysical broadcast for the soul.
She got it. I'm Jen. This is Mary.
Hi.
We haven't done a little broadcast in a while
while.
because we've been so caught up with all kinds of stuff,
Right.
which is what I'm going to talk about today. 2 months ago, I had another near-death out-of-body experience in a high-impact rear-end car accident, which Mary, of course, was the one I called to come pick me up.
Yeah.
So she got to witness a lot. And I can say, thank God I have witnesses in these things that I experience because this is going to be a wild one. So it started off, and I will post the pictures to prove this stuff.
Confirm,
Yeah, because it's wild. It started off with me going to work and seeing this powdery substance on my car. And there were little circles with like little dots of they look like eggs
right
in the center.
Speckles.
Yeah. So then I got in the car and I looked out on the hood and I see this humongous handprint, 2 handprints on the side of my car. The fingers were coming over the top and the palm was down at the bottom. Literally had to be like that big, huge handprint. And my immediate first go-to was it's either an angel, because I've seen the angels before, they are very large, or it's an otherworldly being. Intuitively, I felt it was both, but it was more of an otherworldly being making its presence known by putting these prints on my car. So I went about my day. It rained that night, and I wanted to go out and see if the handprints had washed away. And what I noticed was those little circles with the little egg things in them, the water droplets on the car were beading, and those things had turned into like egg sacs with tails. So I started cursing the chemtrailers, like, what kind of freak medical show are they putting out there? And let it be, got in my car, went about my day. And on the way home, I was stopped in traffic, long line of traffic due to construction, and I turned to the side to grab my purse because I knew it was going to be a while sitting there. And as I did, something happened. I don't know what happened. I don't even know there's no words to explain what happened, but I knew something major happened. And as I had turned around and my head was going towards the windshield, the same exact handprint that was on my car appeared in front of my head and blocked me from hitting the windshield. When I hit the hand, it felt like I hit a soft mattress, and all this happened at the same time. But at the same time, that hand pulled my spirit out of my body, spun me around because I didn't know what happened. And all I kept saying was, what happened? And it spun me around behind the hand, so I was facing the back of the car. Then I was allowed to watch what happened. A Toyota truck came full speed, never even pressed on the brakes, at like 50 miles an hour, and just slammed into the back of my car. When I saw that, there was this huge, it was like the whole space was a mirror, a shiny mirror, and that mirror broke into a million pieces. And I can hear all the clinking and clattering of the pieces falling. And then everything got slow motion, and they stopped and they suspended in the air. When that happened, I understood. I was like, oh, that's what happened. I got hit. When I realized that, the hand spun me back around in my spirit back into my body. And I came in backwards, which I felt that way ever since, pretty much. Like I've been living this life backwards. But anyway, that was the event itself. So I knew this otherworldly being, hand, whoever it was protecting me, was guiding me. And actually, your first words were, Jen, God protected you by sending that being because my car wasn't safe. The car I was driving was not safe. It had gone through Hurricane
Yes.
Helene,
So
had
the
damage.
prior experience with the hands was evident.
So, and I'm sharing this because we are coming into massive otherworldly being presence, activity, and subject matter. And I'll get into that later. But the other thing that was interesting in that car accident, when I got out, I felt something. I felt my hair. My hair was weird. So I put my hands up, and my hair was electrified, like static electricity, sticking out everywhere. And I thought of G-forces, but if I was doing G-forces that much, I wouldn't be standing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't G-forces; it was electromagnetic energy. And I immediately felt that it was intentional, that it came from the sky or the ground, but there was an intentional act to create that accident somehow, some way. I had no idea what this meant. I just knew. I was 100%. This was intentional. Somebody did this on purpose, and I let that go because I did not know anything else. But the electromagnetic energy, and you were there. Remember when you came to pick me up, and I kept saying, "Oh my God, the radiant heat is so hot." There was a radiation type heat over the whole area.
Because she was pulled over off the road.
I went off the road.
Yeah. And then you had hit the car in front of you.
And then I hit the car in front of me.
From the impact of that truck, and those women were standing there.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Did you hurt yourself in any way?" And you said no. And then I noticed
that's right.
the red marks right here on your forehead. I said, "You have red marks, lines on your forehead." You said, "What?"
Yeah,
And
I
then,
only hit the mattress is what I said.
You looked and you're like, "Oh my gosh."
So the finger, the handprint that was on the car had 6 fingers. When Mary saw me, when she came to pick me up, she said, "You hit your head." And I was like, "No, I didn't. All I hit was the hand, the mattress." So I pulled the mirror down to look, and I had 6 lines down the forehead right here. And we both looked at each other like, "Oh my God, what does this mean?" But yeah, I forgot about that. But whatever it was, there was electromagnetic energy, there was high radiation, and I intuitively knew this was intentional. Something about this was intentional. This is all going in my new book, which is being edited right now, but the details will be included in that. But I think the main thing Spirit wants us to discuss or bring to light is the otherworldly being presence. And so I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks after. So that happened June 5th. On July 4th, I had packed my animals up to take them away from the 4th of July fireworks that they were lighting off because I didn't want them to be have organ damage. So we went and drove down the street, and I said, "Well, I'll sit there," because I got a new car, of course, after the accident. And I said, "I'll sit here and read my manual." Well, I opened the manual to this page that says cyber attack risk. And I said, "What?" And I knew right then, that's exactly what I was feeling. So in this warning in the manual, it says connecting your devices to the car can cause unexpected accidents affecting your brakes, steering, and transmission. I knew right then that's what I was feeling. That's what I was picking up on. That there was some kind of interference with that. Now, I didn't have my phone connected, but that doesn't mean the guy who hit me didn't. And it doesn't mean the girl in front of me didn't.
Right.
And how we get away from that, I don't know, because everybody now is a cyber weapon on the road. Because they're plugging in their phones to their cars, they're connecting and syncing their phones with the cars.
GPS.
Well, the car is now a computer, and it can be hacked just like your phone and computer, and they are. There are actually reports. I did a little more investigating after reading that because I was shocked, but they actually have cyber attack researchers who have tested and they can control the brakes and steering and transmission of a car from 12 miles away. So this is what we're on the roads with, okay? They're cyber weapons. That's all we're driving with. You cannot connect your phone. It doesn't mean the guy behind you has, doesn't have his hooked up to where they hit you or come across the lane, whatever. But I concluded for my own self, I refuse to hook my phone up, and people you need to distinguish this for yourself. I refuse to hook my phone up or let anybody hook their phone up in my car. I didn't even sync my car to my phone yet. I'm not going to after this. Because if I'm in a car accident and that black box in that car records that my phone was plugged in, they can always blame it on a cyber attack, and you will get no help. You will get no insurance money. You will be the cause of your own accident by hooking up your phone.
Wow.
So all this, it's this, I have this conglomerate experience loaded with all technology, otherworldly being stuff. And it's all interconnected like everything. How it's going to interconnect in the future, I don't know, but you recall we've done broadcasts on this before, and I started getting this information last January.
Right.
That there will be a massive revealing of otherworldly beings. There will be presence, and now that the whole internet and everything's flooded with this information about the people, organizations we are unaware of creating a fake alien invasion. This is all over. This came out last week. It was just like flooding the internet. This has been known since the 60s. It's actually reported in documents. But I think the reason I had this experience with otherworldly beings is, let me finish that thought before I go to another. So much stuff has happened, like a laundry list of stuff. But I think the reason I had this experience, which was a benevolent experience because the otherworldly being protected me. And many people are out there are having similar experiences. I think it is so that we can let people know that if there is a staged alien invasion, and they're trying to make it like aliens are, destroying the world and people, there are those of us who've had direct experiences who can say clearly they are not malevolent. Now, man-made alien technology, yes, I can see that malevolent, but the real otherworldly beings, what I'm dealing with is the tall white species, not malevolent. Clearly, they're benevolent. And Archangel Michael actually channeled through a message that gave me a lot of comfort because I know nothing about the subject, that this being who protected me in the car accident, Archangel Michael charged this being with protecting me as part of an angelic training type program that she was involved in with Archangel Michael. So that told me the angels are also interconnected with not only us, but other life forms and all this. And that they are trained as guides. So I found a lot of comfort in that.
Sure.
And the reason I want to mention this is because if you can imagine alien invasion and the media going, oh my God, they're murdering, killing everybody, what are people going to do? They're going to fear. They're going to go ballistic. And I just want people to know, and I feel that that's why I had this experience. It's my responsibility to let people know. You need to be able to distinguish what is real and what is fake. You need to distinguish, is this, every situation you have, there's a guide guiding it. You need to find out who that guide is, what that guide is. But fear, we learned through the COVID scheme, fear does nothing to help anything.
It's chaos.
Yeah, I don't even want to go with, how crazy it can get, but I wanted to share so that people know that there is a species out there that the angels are involved with.
Well, God
who
created
God
The
created
universe, He
everything.
created, yeah,
Everything.
so,
I mean, even all the insects in the ground and the ocean that we don't see or acknowledge, everything was created by God. So they're all benevolent until they get the man's consciousness, until they take on the man-made consciousness. Now this also interconnected. All things are, interconnected.
like the spider web.
Yeah. Also interconnects with AI. AI is causing a lot of havoc, infiltrating the minds of humankind, making them commit suicide, making them go gun wielding. So there's a lot of this interconnectivity that's going to be really hard to distinguish through. And you can only really distinguish if you, number one, have an experience, but if you don't let fear jump into you first and you sit back and you analyze the situation, and you must always, always, always ask the divine, confirm this for me. Confirm this. You don't need to pray, you don't need to go into all stuff. Just God, whoever you talk to,
give me a sign.
Confirm this for me, because you're going to be experiencing different things from mine.
Right.
Me. What may be good for me may not be good for you. And that's why I do these broadcasts. I put all the information out there so Spirit can come through and make you distinguish what is good for you and your soul path. But there's a lot of information that needs to be considered or put on the table to be able to open people up. And this is one of them, because otherworldly beings opened me up in 2 months. I've never dealt with anything like this. However, I can say without a doubt that I know, no matter what scheme the media or the world plays out, the ones I am dealing with are benevolent. And the angels, clearly the angels are charging not only us, but them and everybody else.
Right.
So I'm comfortable in knowing that fact, and I wanted people to at least be able to hear this broadcast to question themselves. Maybe you've already had an experience, that you remember that, you had an experience. And for whatever reason, this area is like the landing pad, the target. There is so much very strange otherworldly stuff going on here. And I did get this morning, it's because of the crystal mines. So anybody near crystal mines, pay very close attention, because there are benevolent beings out there trying to communicate and let people know that no, we are not coming to mutilate you.
No.
And honestly, I've always said this, otherworldly beings have been etched on hieroglyphs and petroglyphs and cave walls for eons.
Yeah.
And clearly they've been known about all these years. Honestly, if they were going to do anything to us, they would have wiped our species out a long time ago, because we've been stupid for a long time. The intelligence levels just are not there.
Sure. Well, so much has been kept from the people, too. But you all of the different times that you read in the paper or see on TV, but people have these experiences.
And they're squashed as conspiracy.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I know.
Yeah. So hopefully we've ascended enough to know that all that's a lie.
Right.
And that we can actually really only rely on one thing: confirmation. You'll have a gut feeling, and if the divine confirm it through conversation or a movie or a song or whatever, any kind of confirmation,
a symbol,
then you stick with that confirmation. You don't let this, brainwashed society switch you into believing something different, because ultimately, in the bottom line, we are moving through this descended place that we've been in, and we're ascending. You have to rise up out of that. In other words, I keep seeing that mirror breaking. The mirror has to shatter in order for the higher intelligence to be able to come. So in addition to that, I've had lots of symbols put on my car, which are all interconnected circles, and they look very much, they look very ancient, like the double-edged circle around it, and there's like these patterns inside the circle, like symbols. I can't really make them out because they're being made on the car with the powder substance.
Well,
but I'll post those pictures.
Is pretty strange.
Yeah, but they're all interconnected circles, and I'll post those pictures on with the article too.
But I remember you saying that I've got this powder on my car. It has to be the chemtrail, what they're spraying, and then the hands came
and it's very interesting. The powder is always on the back windshield, not the front. Only on the back.
And that's what made you too say, wait a minute.
I have witnesses. Yeah. I call my friend Jess over to say, you need to look at this so people think I'm not crazy. And then I take pictures, but the powder only goes on that back windshield and not the front. And that's where I'm getting all these symbols and signs. So I think it was in June in Mexico or Portugal. Do you remember where the Buga sphere was found?
I think it was
Portugal.
I think so.
If you're interested in a very recent finding, it's called the Buga sphere, B-U-G-A. It was either found in Mexico or Portugal. Dr. Stephen Greer is on it, and he's doing research, fascinating communications coming from that sphere. So circles, spheres, and all kinds of things like that will be more prevalent. That's what I'm saying. There's more circles, confirmations and circles. But regardless, don't fear whatever the media is putting out there, whatever happens. NASA said, posted something about the comet that is not a comet anymore, called Atlas, is supposed to arrive in our space in October.
Yeah.
I think it's October.
But it's not a comet anymore.
They're not calling it a comet anymore. They are saying it's an interstellar object or vehicle or structure. So now you're having, which I said last January, they will be admitting otherworldly presence. Now they're saying this is the third one that they have found, so they are admitting it. It is not for public knowledge. Their admittance is to prepare us for something that's coming. So to prepare us, and just keep that in the back of your mind. Whatever they're planting and telling you about otherworldly beings is to prepare for what's coming. And like I said,
all the movies,
just like all the movies,
movies that people are like, wow, that could happen.
Well, now they're admitting it can happen, but I will stick with the side on Stephen Greer on this. I do believe whatever happens is going to be man-made. It is not going to be the real otherworldly beings, because they are not malevolent. They don't have the murder, death, kill mindset that humans do. And not only from my, one little experience, but you've got people all over the world who's experienced them. And that's the other thing. If you want to know a lot more about that, go to drstephengreer.com. He's been studying this for like 50 years. He's got all the documents. He's got an archive library, which is phenomenal, that you will see that they are not malevolent. They're not. Now, the ones that are hybrids. They're the ones who have been crossed with human DNA and otherworldly being DNA. Experimental research, which man has done. So they're the man-made ones. Now those are, because they're made with the murder, death, kill mindset. But not the true ones. And we're going to have to distinguish, between the two.
And going back to the movies, there have been movies where scientists create these beings, and they're going to take over the world.
If we knew how many mad scientists were on this planet, we would hop on the next planet quicker than we could blink. Because that's all this planet is based on, research. Every human, every animal, every plant, everything is based on research.
Trust science.
No.
We've been there.
Not going back. So anyway, you got anything you want to add?
No, not really. You covered it. I mean, I wanted that to come out because where you said a hand stopped, and then you've got lines going vertical down your, so it's just how the puzzle pieces all, and then like
it's amazing.
2 weeks later Yeah.
And the other interesting thing is when I saw the fingerprints on the car and then I saw the fingerprints on my forehead, I immediately remembered I had already been involved with those fingerprints because I had written them into my book, Life Beyond Us.
Yes.
There was an event that I documented in there to where those 6 fingers were through the sand that had fallen on the floor.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't make the connection then because I had no knowledge. And now I still have no knowledge, but I have an experience that was I mean, I could have died in that accident.
Without
and that one hand, it was huge. One hand spared me from, I mean, massive pain and suffering. So in that, how can anything be wrong or bad or horrible or I'm just not going to go there. You know, I've had the experience to know that no, there's love and protection, and the angels are charging everything.
And it just, I think, enriches you as far as trust.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're learning through these experiences, so knowledge is powerful. And that's why you need to talk about it. That's why we need to discuss amongst each other, because people are experiencing these things.
Yes.
And so many are afraid to say something because, oh, she must wear one of those tinfoil hats, or, you know.
Actually, I think I'm going to make one.
But yeah, you know, you have to believe. You just.
Well, I don't think you have to believe you have to recognize
all about the trust, you know.
Yeah, you have to recognize the confirmation so you can trust your spirit.
Yes.
Your God, your creator.
Yes. And in order to trust, you're believing that it's.
I don't know. I think this last car accident knocked that out of me. I really do. I think it knocked a lot out of me because now I'm sitting. You already know. You don't have to trust anything or believe anything because your soul already knows.
Yeah, but in order to explain it to people and let them know, it's I believe that this is what happened and why, and I trust in this because I've experienced it. How else would you explain your experience other than
I know it?
I believe that it's this because I've experienced it.
I know it.
Yeah.
Yes. Like trust, belief, and all those words are like so useless when you know it. And I don't know how to explain that. It's like when you and I are talking.
Yeah.
And we're talking, and all of a sudden, we get chills all over our body.
Yeah.
There's no trust or belief in that. We just know that's
but
true.
But we say, oh, spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit. So other people would say, I don't believe that. I don't this. And why
that's here.
Why do we believe it?
Because here,
the trust.
Brainwashing, yeah.
And because, you know, so that's.
But what do you call that if you just.
A confirmation.
Confirmation, that's a good one.
You know.
It's that knowing. It's like there is no trust, no belief, no words, nothing goes in your brain. It's like, I know it.
Right. But when you're learning it, it's you're trusting it. You know, because I find that if you do share things like that with people and you're so adamant that.
Oh, and I'm adamant.
Yeah. Just, you know, coming across with, I just trust, you know, my soul and it's all, but.
But you're much more gentler in communicating than I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, bam, truth, that's it, done.
Yeah.
But you have more of that softer, compassionate explanation.
Yeah.
You know.
Even explaining things to my husband.
I know.
Right.
Well, that's it. You've got one of those. I don't.
Yeah.
But so I don't have to do that. But
I have to keep it at.
Yeah.
The level, you know, he might admit me. I don't know. No.
Yeah, true.
You know, he too.
Well, he's come into believing a lot of stuff that he didn't believe before either.
See, and there's the word believe.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's I mean, I get that for other people, but for me, it's not. It's not even that anymore. So I don't know.
You're so above.
It's not above. It's
you're up here with spirit. Like you'll tell me things, and then I realize, oh my God, that's something that I've.
Right.
Yeah.
So I confirm.
Yeah, and then it's like, wow, you're almost in awe of it. But at the time, you're just, it's your
It's
trust.
overwhelming.
It's where you've been there and, like I'm not as, like I'm spiritual, but when you say things, to me, I don't even for a second not believe it. I don't, but yet you're going to have people that
Oh gosh, yeah.
are going to question,
Oh,
all this.
I can just tell by the look on their face. It was like,
Right, and because I've experienced things like that, but don't come front and forward.
well, and you spend a lot of time with me too, so
Yeah, that's true.
You're used to the crazy things that happen, and
sure,
and she witnesses most of it because I always
Yeah.
Mary, you gotta look at this. This is crazy.
And then she'll just be saying something, and I was like, okay, this is what, and you're like, oh, you said that. That's exactly what. So I don't know if spirit just kind of bounces
They speak through
off.
every person that we communicate with.
Exactly.
Every person.
Even sometimes strangers.
All the time, strangers.
Where you're just brought into like a conversation with them.
And that's every conversation you have. You need to pay attention to, because that's spirit bringing it to the table and saying, look, I need you to acknowledge this.
When you least expect it.
And trust me, I channel Michael and Gabriel. That's just their power. That has nothing to do with me, Jennifer. Me, Jennifer, channels in the power of them using the words that need to be revealed.
Right.
So I'm not even a messenger, and neither are you or anybody. We're all confirmers. We confirm what a person already knows or already received.
Yes.
We're just acting like, yep, you're right. Here's a confirmation.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people say, oh, don't shoot the messenger. I'm the messenger. We're not even messengers. Angels are the messengers. We're the confirmers they go through to get the knowledge out.
That's a great way to explain it.
And that's what I think this whole broadcast is about. Make sure you understand the confirmations. If you're in the grocery store and you hear a conversation that doesn't sit with you, guess what? That conversation's for you.
Yeah.
Stop, listen to it. Don't judge, don't persecute. Receive. That's the state we're in, is receiving.
Yeah, and not being afraid to express it, because for some reason or other, that's...
If we don't express, like we were talking earlier, if we don't express ourselves and communicate, which is what AI is taking away.
That's exactly it.
We will lose every opportunity for the angels and the divine guides to speak through us, and we cannot allow that to happen. We've got to continue relations.
That was one of the hardest things during COVID. 6 feet apart, wear your mask. People weren't talking to one another.
Do not communicate anymore.
By
doing that, God and the angels cannot come through you or anybody else if you do not communicate and keep your relationships.
And it was those of us that were like, these masks aren't even protecting us. We learned the vaccine didn't protect us. We
learned everything was a farce.
Yeah.
Well, now let's have learned from that, and learn that the only thing that's true is what the angels bring to you and put on your table as confirmation. Because we already hold all the knowledge. We already know.
Yeah.
Internally, we forget because we're human.
Sure.
But each person, each subject, each broadcast, each song, each everything is a relationship, and it is communication from the other side here.
Yes.
And if we're not communicating, and we're not talking, and we're just sending little symbols as texts, and we're not seeing people, then we are voluntarily cutting off the other side from accessing this world.
Yeah.
That's a voluntary action. Now, can it ever happen? I mean, God's God, However, we're not making it easy on them on the other side by cutting off relationships, not communicating, or sending little face things. What do you call those things? Emojis. That's not communication, and that is not a relationship.
Yeah.
So
you need words.
Yeah, you need words and collaboration.
Right, which goes along with witnessing. Yeah, no, it's you have these experiences, you have these crosses that you bear, and it's all for that purpose.
And it's for everyone.
We're here to serve. We're here to
It's for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Not just us. You know, my experience with this otherworldly stuff, it's not for me.
No.
It's for everyone.
Right.
And if I can't share that, then what am I here for?
Yeah.
You know?
And these people that come across your path daily, you'll never see them again.
Nope.
But yet you had that.
But you know what's cool about that?
Yeah.
Every single one of them brings me confirmation.
That's right.
They bring me
That's
knowledge.
right.
They bring me wisdom so I can expand on my situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I take and I share.
Yeah.
So it's this domino effect. And if we don't keep that going,
yeah.
You know, you think an alien invasion is going to be bad? That's going to be worse. But so in that, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Blessings to everybody, and follow your confirmations.
Right.
Not your messages, your confirmations. And we'll all be golden.
That's true.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.